It is Thursday morning and the government is officially reopened. President Trump signed the legislation that would fund the government until January 30th, late last night. Just for context, my name is Camille. I'm a political reporter based in DC, and I've been covering every single day of this government shutdown and trying to inform you guys about what's happening on Capitol Hill and what lawmakers are saying. And now there's this really big question of like, okay, what happens now? I mean, we know that early in the morning at like 1 or 2 a.m., OMB sent a message to all the furloughed workers. These are federal employees that were not required to go into work every day, but still were not getting paid, telling them that they needed to return to work today. But then we're like, okay, but what else are we going to anticipate in the days ahead? So let me break this down. Basically, we're being told that people should still expect to experience some travel delays when it comes to flight cancellations or just delays in air travel because of all the staffing shortages that have been happening in the last few weeks among air traffic controllers and TSA workers. And the Department of Transportation basically said it's going to take several days to kind of go back to a place of normalcy, because it's been anything but normal. And just in case people have forgotten, this has been the longest government shutdown to ever happen and has taken an extensive toll on our workers, on federal employees, on just people in general. Now, there's also this question of like, okay, when are people going to receive food stamps? Remind you, the Department of Agriculture announced weeks ago that they were no longer going to roll out these benefits because of the government shutdown. And we're being told that essentially roughly 42 million Americans will receive their full benefits in the month of November, but the timing of that will depending on the state that they live in. Now, if you're like, okay, is this over? Do we have to stop watching what happens on Capitol Hill? Not so quite. Essentially, the bill that was just passed in the House and in the Senate only funds the government until January 30th, meaning that lawmakers have until then, to try to pass as many spending bills as possible that will fund the government for longer periods of time in order to make sure that we don't end up in the same situation that we did starting on January 31st, because if they don't, then that means we're in another government shutdown. Now, if you're like, okay, lawmakers need to pass spending bills, check. Well, I haven't even talked to you guys about some of the drama that's unfolding on Capitol Hill just in the last few hours among lawmakers that have them fuming at the senators, and even House Democratic lawmakers and House Republican lawmakers banding together and being like, this is not right. Essentially, in the proposal that was just passed in the House and Senate, they basically snuck something in that allows senators to sue DOJ if they find out that their phone records were obtained without their knowledge. Now, if you're like, what's a big deal here? Well, essentially, this provision would allow senators to receive a $500,000 payment if federal law enforcement obtains their electronic data and does not notify them. And it was basically a direct response to a recent development that happened where 8 Republican senators found out that they had their phone records subpoenaed during a formal DOJ investigation that took place a while ago. And a lot of people are saying, hey, wait a second, this is not right. This will specifically benefit only a select few. And mind you, the whole argument that Republicans made in the very beginning of this government shutdown was, let's pass a spending bill that includes no policy changes. That was the whole argument to Democrats when Democrats wanted them to include language that would extend these enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies. And they kept being like, no, let's just pass a straightforward bill to fund the government, no policy changes. And then last minute, Senate Republicans snuck in a policy change, and that has Republicans and also Democrats really fuming on the House side. Now, if you're like, okay, what's going to happen now? Well, essentially, the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, announced that next week the House is going to take up legislation to basically overturn this provision because he doesn't feel that this is right. And we're told that this is going to get a lot of bipartisan support because Democratic lawmakers I spoke to yesterday say they have a really big problem with this. And if you're like, okay, what is going to happen with these subsidies that are set to expire next month? Because as you just mentioned, this proposal doesn't include any language to extend them. Well, we're being told that the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, has actually been talking openly, kind of opening up a conversation and a dialogue with House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. And he says that, you know what, he's really wants to start moving in a direction where they can address finding a longer term solution for this. Because if you guys remember in my past videos, I actually said that there was a lot of House Republican lawmakers that were saying, hey, we do need to find a longer term solution for this. Now, we know that on the Senate side, they're definitely going to hold a vote next month to address these subsidies. But on the House side, now that we're hearing that the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, is more open and actually starting to have conversations with Jeffries to try to address a longer-term solution, it's looking a little bit more optimistic that they are going to hold a vote as well, or at least try to sit down and seriously have conversations to see where we go from here. Okay, I think this is all I have for now, but I want to hear from you guys. Would you guys still like morning updates where I kind of share what's happening on Capitol Hill, or just about what's happening in the world of politics in general. I don't know if I mentioned this in my past videos, but I've now been a journalist for over 8 years. I've been covering Capitol Hill on and off since 2017. And I feel like part of my goal is to just break down really complicated things and say it in a way that people can understand, even if you haven't been following all along. And I really do, I enjoy doing that. So let me know what you guys think, because I don't know, I'm still kind of playing around with different ideas, because a lot of this I do in my free time or in my mornings. And as you have seen in past videos, they get a little chaotic and a little crazy. And I can never say what I'm truly doing every single day, because my schedule looks very different on a day-to-day basis. I mean, anyway, I have to go. My little baby needs me, but I'll see you guys later.